Hello and welcome to the ARCS. We're live here from Watkins, Glen, New York for the running of the Go Bowling 55. Well folks, we're here for the first road course race of the season. Last season, the winner of this race was Blubber Plumber. Can he recapture the magic and win at the Glen for the second year in a row? We'll have to wait and see. But for now, let's take a look at your top 10 qualifiers in the field. Starting on the pole, Draven Sandy. In second, Jacob Bradley. In third, Joshua Harrison. In fourth, Blubber Plumber. In fifth, Deacon Gentleman. In sixth, Eddie Carlson. In seventh, Matthew Bussey Sr. In eighth, Sean Carson. In ninth, Jack Porter. And rounding out your top 10, Ricky Quinn. Let's take a look at the rest of the field in today's race and get right into the action here in New York. And we're live here at the Go Bowling 55. Richard Petty's going to dive off in that Dodge pace car. And the green flag is out here in New York. And it looks like pretty good jump into turn one for Jacob Bradley. But, Draven Sandy using the inside lane, but a nice shot to the back of that 00 by Joshua Harrison. And Joshua Harrison loses a boatload of time. Whoa, and Eddie Carlson's going dirt track in here at the Glen. Definitely don't want to do that, as you can see dirt off in the distance from his little excursion there. But Jacob Bradley is your leader as everything sits here. But in second place, Blubber Plumber. He is eyeing down the leader quite literally here at Watkins Glen. If you remember back to the pre-race show, we talked about that 27 car and how he won last season. So we'll see if he can use that road course magic as we talked about earlier. Chris Hergeson and the one car make contact. They are off into the boonies. And he hits the wall hard, and there's a massive crash, just like Jeff Gordon back here in this part of the track. Oh my goodness, and a couple cars get clobbered. That reminded me of 2014 Jeff Gordon when he came back out in front of the field at Watkins Glen, and they're going to race back to the caution lights. And Jacob Bradley is your leader here, but a hellacious hit for Keith Vega in that one car, and we'll have to get a replay of just what happened there. We'll be back in a moment. And here's another replay of the accident here. Aiden King getting forced out wide. My bad, he was not Keith Vega, it was Aiden King who got sent out wide. And look at Ralph Johnson, last week's winner, avoiding Michael Redinger in that Interstate Batteries machine and Richard Morphy as well. But I am surprised no other drivers back here got involved besides those three cars of Aiden King, Michael Redinger, and Richard Morphy. We'll get back to the action here at the Glen. And we're live here at the Glen with an abbreviated coverage here as everybody's on pit road. Nobody stayed out here. And we'll see who comes off in first. Looks like Joshua Harrison in that 3 car will take the lead from Jacob Bradley. Strategy call for that crew. And Draven Sandy's going to lose some spots there. But Jerry Funk, the benefactor of this caution, gained quite a few. And he's up to about 4th place. So good job for Jerry Funk. And we'll go through the running order here as they come off of pit lane here at Watkins Glen. As you can see, everybody getting service here. But couple cars with slow stops here. Well, that's Richard Morphy, as you can see there in the 21, but Maxwell Smart is also getting service as well. And there's that one car. I'm surprised that one car did not pit here under the caution. Well, he might be the leader of this race. The driver that causes the caution might be your leader here at Watkins Glen. We'll have to wait and see. We'll be back in a moment. And we're back here at Watkins Glen. Richard Petty going to dive off, and Aiden King, your leader, is really holding up the guys behind him, but he will lead us back to the green flag. Aiden King is a madman here at the Glen. And he's not. We got a massive crash on the front stretch. Denzel Scott, I believe, is around the 32 of Cassidy Reynolds, and they cause another caution at the start of this one. They were trying to get back up to speed, and they will race back as Joshua Harrison is your leader. But the 5 car of Jacob Bradley's there as well. And I think they are racing. Yes, they are full speed. They are not pacing here, as they did get the green flag. So it is open season here for the top 3 drivers. But how about that 3 car of Joshua Harrison on pit lane, making some moves and leapfrogging the leader? That was Jacob Bradley at the time. And you can see the caution lights there. Hopefully no one careens into the barrier there, as Aiden King makes it through this set of corners fairly smooth. And it was not smooth last time he went through. He had a couple hard hits last time through, but Looks like Joshua... Ooh! Jacob Bradley and Blubber Plumber ping-ponged off each other in that final corner, and Joshua Harrison leads us back to the caution flag here at Watkins Glen. Here's a replay of the accident here. Denzel Scott, Matthew Bussey Jr., and a couple other drivers making contact, trying to get a good start on the restart, and that did not go well for those drivers in the back of the field as they were trying to get up to speed, but Cassie Reynolds takes the brunt of the damage and almost gets more from Richard Morphy, but that's the accident here at the Glen. And we're back here at Watkins Glen. Richard Petty's off. Oh, and we got more cars off. Oh my goodness. Oh, we have a car up and over that's hit the barriers. Oh my goodness. And it's a rolling junkyard getting to the start of this race. What are they doing at the back of this field? They're trying to go 3 wide before the start of this event, and that does not work here at the Glen. But Matthew Bussey Jr. trying to join the Space Force here at Watkins Glen. But Joshua Harrison still your leader. A little bit of dirt on the backstretch. Not sure why. And we'll see who can lead back to the caution stripe. Oh, Joshua Harrison just cutting that corner just a little bit, cutting them corners. But that's perfectly legal here. We'll see if anybody whacks that retaining wall right there, as Aiden King's pretty familiar with that one. But how about Blubber Plumber up here? He's been fairly quiet, stalking these top 2 cars. And obviously he was your winner here last season. Ooh, a little bobbing and weaving there. But I believe Joshua Harrison's going to get back to the stripe with Jacob Bradley trying to challenge, but it's not going to be enough. And Joshua Harrison leads back, and we'll get a replay of the accident here at the Glen. And we're back here at Watkins Glen. Let's take a look at the replay as Matthew Bussey Jr. careens into the barrier, and a piece of debris flies off that car. As you can see, other drivers involved. Jerry Funk, Chris Hergeson trying to dodge the damage, as we'll go for the Chris Hergeson cam. But Keith Vega, Jerry Funk, I believe that's Maxwell Smart there, yep, and Bob Verstappen, all collecting damage, trying to get back to the green here in this race. And we're back here at Watkins Glen. Joshua Harrison is your leader. Richard Petty's off, and the green flag is out and waving, and hopefully no cautions here as they get back up to speed. And I don't see anybody spitting in this corner. Oh, 1 car's off, but they're pitting. And I should mention that 2 cars did pit under that cycle. Diego Tacone pit, as well as, I believe, the 93, I want to say, of Deacon Gentleman. So those 2 cars pit under that caution. So there was no real reason to really show them under the pit cycle, but obviously we do have to mention that. So as you can see, the field is spread out here, so that's good. Probably, well, we hope no more cautions. Hopefully just pit strategy to come into the play for the rest of this race. But Joshua Harrison is out to a pretty sizable lead over Jacob Bradley. And we'll go through the field here just... Oh, and there's that 1 car, I believe, of Aiden King. Yep, he's there. I want to say he's a lap down. He might have done the wave around. We'll have to take a look quick. As, yes, he is still 1 lap down. But Aiden King holding up these drivers in the back. They are not happy. You can't really go too wide here. Oh my goodness, and Ryan just is into the barrier. He just barely missed it. Oh, and another car's in the barrier, and they keep piling it in. They're creating a wall at the end of the pit barrier, and we've got more carnage. Diego Tacone is around, and they keep going. It's the long one here at Watkins Glen, and they just keep on going. What are they thinking? And there's a caution out. 11 of 22 complete. Joshua Harrison still your leader, and they will race back. We thought we had a green flag run, but now it's done here at the Glen, and we're going to have another restart and probably pit stops as well. But Joshua Harrison with a pretty commanding lead after he leapfrogged the 5 car of Jacob Bradley under caution. I believe our first caution of the day was when they leapfrogged positions. But this about... I believe the top 8 cars have been all fairly fast-paced here. They've got their cars in tune with the race course and are just kind of riding here as they come back to the line. And Joshua Harrison's going to be your leader still. And we'll get a replay of the carnage that unfolded in just a moment. And here's a look at the replay, folks. Ryan just did not make it on pit road and gets absolutely creamed by Benedict Schumacher. Bob Verstappen makes another bad decision, and so does Keith Vega. And we'll switch over here. Diego Tacone punting his teammate, the 22 of Sean Carson, and then Robbie Margot, Deacon Gentleman pile in later. And the carnage just kept rolling, going down the hill into turn 1, but that's the accident here at the Glen. And as we come back to the green here at Watkins Glen, let's take a look at your fastest lap of the day. We haven't had much green flag action, but we have had a fastest lap, and that has been set by Quinn Porter in the 95 Toyota, and he's in 6th place here, so he has a shot to get a victory here. But Joshua Harrison still holding strong to this lead, as well as the top 8 cars have been formed up pretty nicely throughout the beginning of this race, so we'll have to see how it shakes out here. But Jacob Bradley is still there. The 3 and the 5 are really close together here as they go into the sweeping S curves. Ooh, Jacob Bradley had to let off the gas there. He thought he could make a run to the outside of Joshua Harrison, but that is a dangerous corner there to try to make a move to the outside. He is right there, folks, as they head into the bus stop here, or I should say about to head into the bus stop as they are about to approach it here. Into the bus stop they go, Jacob Bradley, Joshua Harrison. As they exit the bus stop, Joshua Harrison still with a commanding lead, but he is getting ever so slightly getting crept on by that 5 car. Don't sleep on the 5 or the 27, as the 27 has crept up on the 5 as well. These top 3 cars have been the most dominant all day. Oh, and Jacob Bradley, he's using that outside lane. We'll see if he can carry momentum through the corner, and he does not. Oh, and Blubber Plumber is going to look to the inside in turn 1, and that might be an important move of the race here, because he's going to have the best corner going into turn 1, or will he? Oh, and Jacob Bradley holds off the 27 of Blubber Plumber going into turn 1, but Joshua Harrison likes what he sees in his rearview mirror, as that's given him just a little more breathing room here at Watkins Glen. And back to the bus stop they go. Joshua Harrison has a little more breathing room this time around over Jacob Bradley, but Jacob Bradley is getting hounded by that 27 car of Blubber Plumber, and Blubber Plumber has only got 2 cars out in front of him. Pretty smooth sailing. Doesn't really have anything in his peripheral vision per se, but he does have a lot of cars behind him, and he definitely has to look in his rearview mirror, because you never know if Draven Sandy in that 00 Starcom car could send it up the inside in turn 1. Was Blubber Plumber going to try to use the outside lane in the final corner, but that has really not worked here, and that might allow Draven Sandy, as I just said, to use that inside lane. We'll see if he uses it here. Everyone's drawn even with themselves, but they're just pacing themselves right now. We could see drivers trying to conserve fuel here in this race. Has 16 of 22 complete, and this has definitely been the longest green flag run of the race so far. But Joshua Harrison, I believe he's slowly gaining time over Jacob Bradley, but these leaders, there is no way they can go the rest of the race without pitting, so we'll definitely see pit strategy come into play, or we could possibly see another caution. You never know, folks. As they slide on through the bus stop there, a couple drivers too wide back there. But Joshua Harrison, still your leader, as Cooper Hones trying to use the outside of this banked corner there at the Glen, as everybody bottoms out going through this corner as they slide off the curb and back onto the race course. But a pretty solid day for most of these drivers up in the front. And like I said, there's about 8 to 10 cars, or there's a gaggle, I should say, of about 8 to 10 cars up at the front here, and then it drops off to Theophilus Morgendorfer Jr., and then you got Mitch Barrier in the Cheez-It car, and then I believe, I want to say back there, I wanted to say it was Denzel Scott, and it is. Yes, it is Denzel Scott back there, and Tony Jansen. And then once you get past the Tony Jansen machine, you got Chris Hergeson sending it to the inside of the 42. I believe that 42 is piloted by John Hendricks. Yes, it is. 2 damaged cars going at it here through the S's, and we'll follow them here. Will the 42 be able to stay in front of the 40? And no, Chris Hergeson takes the spot over John Hendricks, and Ryan Hubbs back here as well. And Ryan Hubbs, believe it or not, if you think back to last season, if you can remember that far, was the Road America winner, so he does have a... Whoa, and Tony Jansen flies through that corner. He got a little bit of air, but Ryan Hubbs, as I was saying, was a road course winner last season, so Ryan Hubbs definitely not happy with his run here today. And we'll take a look at the fastest lap here as they cross the stripe. Joshua Harrison crosses it there. 18 of 22 complete. And let's take a look. Oh, and David Long with the fastest lap with 1 minute 7 seconds. Good job for David Long. And where is David Long? David Long is in 10th place, so a good solid run for the rookie. And like we've been saying all season long, David Long, and we'll follow this battle quick, but I'll finish my sentence in just a moment, as Draven Sandy and Blubber Plumber are battling here, 2 by 2, heading up to the bus stop here. We'll see who gets the edge into the bus stop. Oh, side by side. Blubber Plumber in the gravel. And side by side it will stay. Oh, but Blubber Plumber does hold serve. But will Draven Sandy use that inside lane? He left a little bit of room, Blubber Plumber did, going through there. But as I was saying before, David Long, I should say, not Ryan Hubbs. I was talking about Ryan Hubbs and his Road America victory last season, and how he's doing poorly in this race. But I was going to talk about the... Oh, and we got a car pitting, folks. That's Draven Sandy, and that is very important because he was in the top 4. So we'll have to see how good of a pit stop he can have here to try to cycle back to the leaders. And like I said, with only a couple laps to go, these leaders have probably got a pit. I would be really surprised if they don't. So Draven Sandy on pit road. We'll see how his stop goes as the sign is out and down, and he stops into his stall. We'll see if he just takes gas or if they prop the car up and he gets tires. Looks like it's just a gas stop. Yes, it is. Splash and go for Draven Sandy, and he's back out on the race course. But will that 3 car of Joshua Harrison have to pit as well? We'll have to wait and see. And the waiting game is going to probably come to an end pretty soon because we only have a handful of laps to go. 19 of 22 complete. And they're coming up on 20 to go, or 20 complete, I should say, in this race. As Jacob Bradley, I believe, has closed the gap pretty considerably to the 3 car of Joshua Harrison. Oh, and the leader's going to pit, folks. Joshua Harrison pits along with Eddie Carlson, Cooper Hones, and Ricky Quinn. 4 cars in. There goes Mitch Berry. Oh, and Mitch Berry hits it, and Denzel Scott comes in there as well. Will we see a caution? No, the light is green, folks. The light is green, and it will stay green. We have green flag pit stops. Poor Mitch Berry hits the barrier, and that's a sad pun to say, and I feel like I've said that one before, but Jacob Bradley is definitely happy that he is out front here because an overtime attempt would not be good, but Joshua Harrison, oh, is he going to get in front? Eddie Carlson passes Joshua Harrison on pit lane. That's big, folks. Eddie Carlson leapfrogs Joshua Harrison. And there's Jacob Bradley. So Jacob Bradley versus Blubber Plumber. It's a heavyweight shootout here at the Glen. Blubber Plumber, last year's Watkins Glen winner, or Jacob Bradley, our first ever ARCS winner at Daytona in Season 1. We'll see who can pilot their way down pit road the fastest. Jacob Bradley's in now. And so is David Long and Theophilus Jr., Probably another couple cars will drop off as well. Tony Jansen does. Oh, and he nearly clips that barrier. Tony Jansen probably had an inch between himself and the barrier, and hopefully everything stays green. But Eddie Carlson, folks, is in front of the 3 car of Joshua Harrison. That's a big story. Joshua Harrison has been dominant all day, but this is the money stop, folks. Because Blubber Plumber's... We've got 3 storylines running, folks. We got Blubber Plumber out in the lead, Jacob Bradley pitting, and Eddie Carlson maybe is going to cycle out to be your leader. There's a lot yet to be decided, but we're 21 of 22 complete here, coming up on the final lap. And who's going to be your winner? It's definitely a wild card here at Watkins Glen. You never know every year when you come here who will be the winner, but Blubber Plumber is hoping that his pit crew can have the best stop here at the Glen. But will he pit, though? That's the question. He could try to stretch it, folks, and go all the way. Oh, he's low on the apron. Will he go? Oh, and Blubber Plumber's going to try to do it, folks. 1 lap remaining. Will he repeat from Season 2 to Season 3? We'll have to wait and see. This is a very exciting storyline to follow. We did not expect Blubber Plumber to stay out. And Blubber Plumber's eyes are very big here. He is hoping the fuel tank has enough fuel to get him around this 2.45-mile course in Watkins, Glen, New York to capture another road course win. But he has to negotiate probably another half of this course here as they go through the bus stop for the final time. Blubber Plumber is still your leader. Is he slow, though? That's the question. I don't want to manufacture a storyline, but he does seem a little slow as they go through this part of the course for the final time. Will Blubber Plumber run out of gas, or will he be able to collect another road course win to his collection as they come off the final corner? Will Blubber Plumber pit, or will he make it the distance? And Blubber Plumber's going to go the distance, and Blubber Plumber's in the playoffs, and he collects another win at Watkins Glen. The road course ringer that is Blubber Plumber has done it again. Congratulations to Blubber Plumber on an exciting victory here at the Glen, a fuel mileage race. And I believe the top finishing rookie in the field, I want to say, is the 7 car of Benedict Schumacher, but I'm not sure. We'll have to wait till the rest of the drivers cross the line. As you can see, Keith Vega there, but he was a lap down, so wait till Jacob Bradley crosses the line as the rest of the field will update. Yes, the rest of the field does update here, and I think I might have to eat my words here as the 10 car of Matthew Bussey Sr. is the highest finishing rookie, and Blubber Plumber is going to do a ceremonial jump into the barrier, and we'll go find him on the backstretch. He was doing a burnout, I believe, and now he's on pit road, and his eyes are pretty big, but Blubber Plumber just a little tad excited there. But congratulations again to Blubber Plumber here at the Glen. Well, Blubber Plumber at Watkins Glen, what can you say, folks? It's a combination like peanut butter and jelly, but it goes together pretty well. And Blubber Plumber, obviously, with another dominant win here today, but not as dominant as you would have thought coming into the race here, as it was a fuel mileage victory for Blubber Plumber. But in second, we had Quinn Porter, who set a really fast lap here today, I believe second fastest of the race. In third, the highest finishing rookie, Matthew Bussey Sr. In fourth, Jack Porter with a pretty quiet day. In fifth, Benedict Schumacher. In sixth, Cassie Reynolds with damage, might I add. She was involved in one of the wrecks earlier, so a solid effort for Cassidy Reynolds on the road course here today. In seventh, Jacob Bradley, who comes up short, and he was looking to leapfrog Blubber Plumber on that final lap, but it didn't end up happening. In eighth, Eddie Carlson, another driver who was hoping that the leapfrog effect would come into play. In ninth, Joshua Harrison, who was dominant all day, but barely holds on to a top 10 finish. And then rounding out your top 10, Cooper Holmes. Let's take a look at the rest of the drivers in the field. And it was a race of attrition here today. Barely over half the cars finished, let alone on the lead lap. Only 25 cars managed to finish either running or a lap down. So this has been a rough weekend here, but it'll be a rough next couple weeks here as the drivers are going to probably have a little jet lag, folks, because the next race on the schedule is Twin Ring Motegi. Hope to see you next time, folks.